Well, good morning, Diet Disruptors. Coach Carrie here, and all this month we are joined with Coach Jess. Hi, Jess.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm so excited that you agreed to join me this month. And can you believe it? It's November.
Oh my goodness, I know it's crazy. This year, in some ways, it dragged by, but and then all of a sudden you blink, right?
It is like my daughter was saying the other day, Mom, it just feels like it's still March when school shut down. And I
Mhm.
said, I know. And I was thinking about how it was cold in March and then it got to be warmer and then summer. And now it's cold again. And it feels like it went like that.
Yes,
Oh my
absolutely.
gosh. Because it's like
I always feel like
Groundhog
it's
Day.
summer and then it's fall. I don't know. There's no transition.
No. Well, you and I are both on the East Coast. And so
Mhm.
we experience the same kind of weather, right?
Yes.
So, as we think about this, now I am not the most prepared person for the holidays. I don't know about you. Are you really like, are you already thinking about your holiday shopping list and all that?
This year, yes, because I'm terrified of what's going to happen with Amazon. Every holiday, they
Oh,
they
good
they
point.
struggle to deliver, and this year I feel like it's going to be worse. But normally, no. Normally, I'm like scrambling, and it's not
Yes.
pretty.
Too. So I am trying to be more intentional. We've talked a lot about those power sheets that a lot of us are going to be doing for 2021 and being intentional with our time. We talk about it in our membership group all the time. So I was like, this year, I'm going to do that for the holidays. So I'm thinking about my
Yes.
gifts and I'm thinking about all the things that I have to do. It's a little easier because we're not doing as many parties or any of that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But one thing that I wanted to think about this year were holiday tips for people, but do them in November and not December. Because
Yes.
by the time we get to December, we're all crazed. And I think let's be intentional. Let's be proactive. So let's use November, not because I'm trying to rush things, but November to talk holiday stuff. What do you think? Good
I
idea?
I think it's a great idea.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do today. So I'd love for people now. People are streaming in all different things. Like I love technology that we can be. We're live on YouTube. We're live in our Facebook group and our Facebook page, and this also goes out in our podcast and IGTV. And I love that. So those of you that are tuning in live, or if you're kind of watching it on the replay, put in the comments wherever you can what your holiday plans are. I'm so interested to know what people are going to do this year in 2020 because
Mm.
I'm trying to figure it out myself. My grandmother usually does Christmas Eve, for example, but we really can't do that. She's, 93 years old and she shouldn't be around all these people. So I don't know what we're going to do. What do you do in the holidays, in the holiday season?
We rotate between my parents and my in-laws, and they're all actually really close, so it's not much different whether we go to one or the other.
Oh,
So
so you'll keep that.
yeah, yeah. It's
Oh,
not
that's
not
nice.
as not as exciting as traveling, but it's nice because we know what we're doing all the time.
Love that. I love that. And I mean, we love holiday parties and all of that kind of stuff. I don't think we're going to be doing much of that this year, but
Mhm.
anyway, I do think the holidays are still with you with little kids and I have teenagers, but they're still into tradition. So we're going to be making Christmas cookies. We're going to be making our favorite holiday meals and desserts and all of that still. So we're going to start talking tips. And let's be honest, November is also Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
And regardless of whether or not we're having a big Thanksgiving or a small Thanksgiving, we're probably all going to have a pretty good sized Thanksgiving meal or Thanksgiving weekend, right? So
Mhm.
there's going to be indulgences all holiday long. So every week this month, we're going to give you a new tip on how to thrive in the holidays instead of just survive. Because I mean, how many people and before you were a diet disruptor, Jess, I want to know what it was like for you. But so many people just think, oh, whatever, I'll just wait until the new year. Right.
Mhm.
And I'll just like figure it out then. But because of our lifestyle, because of the way that we work and our approach, we don't have to do that. We don't have to like sabotage ourselves all holiday long to then kind of have to reset everything in January. Right.
Totally.
What was
Yeah.
life like for you before you were a diet disruptor and now?
Oh, it was not pretty. I think I kind of just from kind of like when school year started all the way through the new year, I kind of just surrendered myself because I was like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? There's this. And we have in my family 3 October birthdays. And then my father-in-law is a November birthday. So it was birthdays and Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I was just like, I will worry about it come January and it will not be pretty.
I think that that's what so many people do. So comment if you're watching this live, if that's what you've been doing and just sort of like throwing it up and being like, whatever, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to give you tips, especially today and every single day, every single Monday throughout the month of how you can really thrive this holiday season and yet not be deprived. Thrive and not deprived. I think that's going to be awesome. Thriving and not depriving. I don't know. I'm making that up right now as we go along.
I love it.
Okay, so let's do the first tip for this month. And we're really going to talk about the fact that I hear so many times about having a big meal. So I'm just going to save my calories all day long.
Yeah.
It kills me because what we're trying to do actually results in the total opposite. In terms of what ends up happening. We're trying to kind of save up so that we could spend later. And I think that that's a really great concept. Like I'm thinking about a Peloton, right? And so we're not going to finance it. We're going to save up our money until we have it to buy the Peloton. And I think that is exactly what we should be doing financially, but that is not what we should be doing in our nutrition.
No.
So Deb, I'm telling you, yes. You have Deb with me. Okay, so Jess, let's talk about what we got to be doing instead and why saving our calories and our intake for that big meal is actually sabotaging us.
Yes. And it's so true. I think about that saying that we always hear as children, which is don't spoil your appetite, right? We get told that from a young age, and that kind of plays into us thinking that this is the right thing to do when it's totally not. Because all that we're doing is we're causing our blood sugar to plummet over the course of the day, so that when we finally get that meal in front of us, we are starving and we are eating everything in sight, way more than we should be, way more than we would be if we had, in fact, been eating smaller meals throughout the day leading up. Right.
And if we almost think though, if we're counting calories, well, that's okay. I can have a 1,000-calorie meal, 2,000-calorie meal because I saved all my calories. But oh my gosh, it's so wrong.
Right. Because then all you're doing is holding on to all of that stuff, right? Because your body's like, oh my goodness, there's no food. There must not be food because you haven't fed me all day long. So I better hold on to all this for the next time that there's no food.
Right. Like our body's actually instinctual. And
right.
We train it how to respond based on what we do consistently. Right. So if we're not eating all day, our blood sugar plummets, just like you said. And so then our body is going to try to balance its blood sugar on its own. And our body's not very good at doing that. It literally just will start to pull nutrients from our muscles. And I know you're a lot younger than me, but you can't afford for your muscles to be, pulled from.
No, not at all.
You need those nutrients in your muscles, and I certainly do. And so that is not cool. And then when we overeat at night, because we're going to for that big meal, then we will store all of that as fat. That's the blood sugar roller coaster.
Yeah.
That is actually and this is why we're called disruptive nutrition, because when I first learned that concept, I was like, oh, that makes sense, but why does nobody teach us that? Right. We think calories in, calories out, or macros. As long as we're getting our macros in for the day, it doesn't matter when we're doing it or how. So false.
Right.
Our blood sugar wants nothing more than to be balanced.
Not at all. It doesn't feel good, right? And we should be kind of listening to that, the fact that it doesn't feel good.
That is a great point, right? Our body is screaming at us when we're hungry. It's telling us something. And I see you have a little stalker there. Come here, say good morning.
Sorry. Here,
hi, honey.
Oh, I have two. I
love it. So those of you that are listening on the podcast can't see this, but Jess's two kids just photobombed her. This is what online learning is all about. Work from home, deal with it.
Now they think they're stars, so they've been invited on, and it's never going to end.
Right. So, hey guys, you know what? I'm going to talk to mom for a little bit longer, and then why don't you come back at the end?
All right. Does that sound good?
Off screen right now, and then come back at the very end.
All
Okay.
right, I'll let you know when it's your turn. Go.
Bye.
See you upstairs. Thank you.
You can tell I was a teacher at one point.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is so great. So when we're thinking about how we have to be listening to our body, right? Just like our kids will be mom, until we're like, what? Our body does the same thing. It will yell at us when we're hungry. It will yell at us when we're full, but we don't listen to it. We think, okay, that Instagram post that told me to save my calories knows more than I do about my own body.
Yeah.
What? All right. So what do we have to be? We know that's not what we should be doing. So Jess, what do we have to do instead?
We have to be fueling consistently, small meals throughout the day, every 3 to 4 hours, leading up to our celebration so that we are keeping our metabolism going.
Exactly. And in order to balance our blood sugar all day long, we need to be doing proteins, fats, and carbs. That combination, we call it PFC every 3, a complete protein, complete in a healthy fat and healthy carbs. When we're doing that together, that's exactly what our bodies want. Proteins, fats, and carbs are called macronutrients for a reason.
You don't go, you're gonna be in trouble.
They are what we know our body wants. So when we give our body what it wants, when it wants it, in the portions that it wants it, it like loves us.
Yes.
And when you're eating those small meals, I still want a nice, awesome meal at dinner for my Thanksgiving dinner.
I enjoy it more. And I don't feel bad afterward.
So here's another tip that I do when I'm in a holiday. So like a lot of times Thanksgiving will start at like 1:00 for us. I don't know about you, right?
Yeah.
And then we have appetizers and all sorts of stuff, and then dinner, and then dessert, and all of that. So what I always tell my clients is start eating right away, but eat a little bit of the appetizers, and then a little bit more. And then when it comes time to dinner, I actually don't fill my plate with all the stuff. I fill it with a little bit of my protein, fats, and carbs, because when you're eating till you're satisfied, it feels good. And you're eating too satisfied. And then I eat again. I'll have like 2 Thanksgiving meals, and then I might have dessert, right? So I'm just eating the whole time, as opposed to like eating a ton of appetizers all at once and then a big meal all at once. I'm just slowly eating, and I don't want to say I'm grazing, but I am a little bit thoughtful about what I'm eating, right? So I might make sure that I always bring food. We're going to talk about that this month. It's easy to eat proteins, fats, and carbs as appetizers, especially if you're bringing some of that stuff with you, right? So it's like grazing a little bit all day long. And I just have like multiple Thanksgiving meals. It's easy, right? And so I hope this helps people not only to have like a tip, right? We don't save our calories for the big meal, or for like, if you're going out to a company dinner. I don't know how many people are doing that this year, but any of these things, even if you're doing a meal out, a date night, this still holds true. Don't save your calories. You are sabotaging yourself. Small meals, PFC every 3, leading all the way up to your meal. And then you decide, do you want that to be an appreciation meal? Do you want that to be a mindful meal? Or do you want that to be a green, like I call it green is go, like a totally correct, totally healthy meal? If it's the holidays, I'm not doing totally healthy and correct. I'm either maybe being mindful, but more than likely I'm doing an appreciation meal. And because my metabolism is boosted, my body's fine with it, right? It's amazing how like I could eat a lot, and then still like 4 hours later, I can find myself getting hungry again.
Absolutely.
My body just metabolized all that food. And Jess, you've been doing this now for like what, over a year?
It's a year, just about a year. Yeah.
And like it's almost at the point where like, do I have to increase my portions now, right? Because it gets to be so much. So it just gets better and better over time. All right, kids, I think we're just about wrapping up, but they can come in for it. Hi. So kids, I'm going to share one more thing with people about something I'm thinking about. And so you can listen in on this. Okay. So couple things as we're rounding up, and Jess's kids are going to photobomb, which I love. So a couple things as we're finishing up. One, we have a holiday tips cheat sheet for you. So we will put it in the comments. your cheat sheet that you can download. And we're going to cover these things in depth every week this month. Super excited about that. Then I want to tell people something I'm thinking about. And Jess, I haven't even told you about this, so I'm really interested. Just something I've been kind of mulling around in my head. I know that we're going to be doing another 4 weeks to wellness in November. It's going to be the last one for a really long time. We're probably not going to do one again until March, but I also know that this isn't the best time for everybody to do 4 weeks of really eating clean and all of that. And a lot of people have been asking about what it is that, about our program and stuff like that. So I've been thinking about doing a PFC intensive. I've never done this before. So I just want to see what people say. I love that. Jess, it is so funny to me. You can see Jess's background moving around.
It is so not going to be funny when this is over.
This,
they don't know.
This is 2020. This is so exactly 2020. Yes. So I'm thinking about doing this PFC intensive. So I'm thinking no more than 20 people to be able to work with me.
I'm so sorry. Take your sister upstairs, please. Come on, Kayla.
This cracks me up. It's so funny. Look, I can mute you, Jess, and then you can yell at your
That would be good. Mute me.
Look, see, I just muted Jess, and then she can just go and yell at her kids. I think that's so funny. Okay, so what I am thinking about doing is this PFC intensive. So no more than 20 people for like 3 hours on a Saturday. You can get me all to yourself. I will literally teach you everything we teach in our 4 weeks to wellness. I will teach you everything that you need to know about PFC every 3. We will walk through it together. I will give you, it's like an all access pass to me and the system and the approach. Because what I'm thinking is, yes, so many people want to get this right, but timing, especially in the holidays, is hard. So I'm just mulling this around in my head. If people would be interested in this, I will give 3 hours of my time at least. And if it takes longer, we'll go longer. And there'll be a workbook. I will give access to our 4 weeks to wellness learning portal, to our PFC online course. Like, I'm thinking about just saying, give it all to you and you'll have access to me for at least 3 hours. And we'll just like dig in. And I think that's sort of a cool way for us to be able to teach those that are really interested and want to learn quickly exactly what it is we teach. So if you are interested in that, our price for our 4 weeks to wellness is $347. This will be a little bit more than that, but you're going to get everything and you're going to get me. And we'll also throw in a month in our membership group so that you can ask questions and dig in and implement and see how it's going and get us to be able to coach Jess and all of our other coaches to be able to connect with you. So if you are interested in that, I would love for you to message me and say PFC intensive. Because if I get enough interest, then I might run that. I'm still not 100% sure I can in timing, but if I have enough interest, then I might end up doing that. So I thought that was kind of cool and something that we can kind of dig into. Isn't that cool, Jess? What do you think?
I think that's awesome. I think it's so cool to be able to get all that information so that when you're going into the holidays, you can be prepared and really understand, how to, like you said, thrive and not just survive. And then when you get to January, when everyone's starting, right, you already have a big head start.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I think it will be a really cool way. I never give that much access to me, right? Like to be able to sit with me for that long. Even the coaches don't ever sit with me for 3 straight hours.
No.
So I think it would be really cool. I would love to be able to sit with some of our clients like that. I wish I could do it with more people, but I'm even thinking about bringing it to 10 people. I don't know, 10 to 20. We'll see how many people are interested, but I think it could be a really cool way for me to really teach and get to know people and just make sure that people understand it really, really well. So if you're interested, send me a message with PFC Intensive. We will put the holiday cheat sheet in the comments. And then each week, Jess, you and we're going to give another tip to thrive in the holidays. I'm super excited. So my guess is your kids are going to get in big trouble.
Oh, yes.
Oh, be nice to them. They're so sweet. And this is the joy of working from home. Every
Oh my goodness.
single parent can relate. Tell me in the comments, y'all, if you can relate to working from home, doing a video call, and your kids all in the background driving you crazy. Because I am sure that more than just Coach Jess had that happen.
Oh, yeah. I'm like that guy from that video where his kids come in, the one kid in the little walker, right? And he's trying to conduct an interview on the news.
Like the
Live
national
television.
news or something. Oh, it was
Yes.
so funny.
Oh my
That was
goodness.
before COVID that happened. And I think now everybody just is like, that's par for the course. That kind of stuff happens all the time. So love on your kids. And remember, everyone, no matter where you are in your journey, there is a place for you at Disruptive Nutrition. And we're so excited that you're here. Bye.
Yes. Bye.